Hey everybody, this is Scott with Mudbug Adventures, and today we're going to get that tie rod on that we talked about in the last video. We finally ordered it. We got it from Teraflex, and it's a chromoly tie rod. It's one of their more expensive models, and it has removable ball joints at both ends, so if those blow out you can remove them and replace them instead of replacing the entire tie rod. So I'm pretty excited about that. We have a Teraflex steering stabilizer. It says it comes with a stabilizer kit. Hopefully this will work. We're going to find out. We called Extreme Terrain that we bought this from, and they said yes, that this would replace the mounting bracket for the steering stabilizer on our Teraflex model. The reason we have to replace it is because this tie rod is 1 5/8. The other tie rod, the stock one on the Jeep, is 1 3/8. So the steering stabilizer we got on there, the bracket won't fit. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm pretty excited about it. Okay, we're going to start by taking the Falcon steering stabilizer off. We have to get it off to replace this bracket, but we also have to get it off so we can replace the tie rod with the new Teraflex tie rod we're putting on here. All right, we're just going to move it out of the way, and then we can work on the steering and on the tie rod. All right, now we got to get the stock tie rod off. There we go. I put a little WD-40 on there. See, because this here is the area that's seized. Couldn't get that off. So I figured this whole thing was probably pretty tight. We used penetrating oil on that, and it still wouldn't come off. So overall, it's going to be a better deal anyway to put a tie rod on to accommodate some of the stuff we want to do with the Jeep in the long run. With the 33-inch tires, it's probably not a good idea to go with the stock tie rod anyway. All right, now we're going to try to break this loose. Went ahead and put the nut back on. I'm not worried about saving the threads and the nut on this. You're not supposed to really tap down on that to get it off, but since it's replaced, I don't care. What you don't want to do is do it real hard. There it goes. I'm going to leave that hanging there for right now while we go do the other side. All right, so we got this side loose as well. Actually came off pretty easy. I was surprised by that. Sometimes they can be pretty hard to get out. There we go. Go take the other side off. Okay, there's our tie rod off. There's quite a difference in the diameter of this. And then of course, if you're looking at the ends where the ball joints are, there's a major noticeable difference in size here. Also, I noticed this when pulled it off. So these boots are going out on our old original one as well. This is really going to be helpful. Should eliminate a lot of flex in the tie rod if we ever do anything major with our Jeep, and be able to support any kind of upgrades that we're going to do in the future. Okay, so we're just going to put this on, screw it down probably about halfway for right now. Then we're going to set it up next to the old one to get the length. Now my alignment's way off. It was way off when we bought the Jeep, so we're going to do an alignment adjustment here as well. Okay, so I'm putting the other one on now. This one screws in opposite, so counterclockwise is actually to get it in there or tighten it, and clockwise is to untighten it. The reason they're doing that is because then you can take the whole tie rod when it's on, you can turn it, and that'll bring the toe in of each of the wheels, and you can adjust it while it's on the Jeep. Just kind of lined it up. I've actually got the one side in a little bit too far, which is okay because the toe on one side is really kicked out on our Jeep. So we'll go ahead and put it on and adjust it from that point. All right, we're gonna get this thing on there. Just get it hung on there for right now. So as you can see in here, our rotor shield is touching it, so we're going to have to cut that out a little bit. Other than that, we're okay. Okay, so we had to cut the little heat shield out there of the rotor a little bit to compensate for the ball joint on the bigger tie rod. Now we're just going to tighten it pretty much as much as we can by hand, and we'll torque it to specification here in a little bit. We're going to get ready to torque this now. The tie rod comes with this tool, and what this does is underneath the ball joint there's some holes that these go into, and you'll put this onto a socket wrench. What it does when you start torquing it, you don't have a way to put an Allen wrench in here to hold that shaft, so it holds it from the bottom so that you can torque this to specifications. So we're torquing it 63 foot-pounds. There it is. All right, 63 foot-pounds. Do it to the other side. And don't forget to tighten up your jam nut on there. Do it on both sides. We're going to start aligning this. This is just some little contraption I made. You can buy these alignment tools online. This is going to work perfect though for us. So you can see right here, if I go to the inside mark of my measure, I've got 66 inches at the front, got 66 and a half at the back, so it's off by a half of an inch. It was a lot more than that, but I kind of eyeball adjusted it when I put it on, so I think it was more like an inch or an inch and a half off, because the my left side tire, when the steering wheel was straight, was, you could see the toe was turned really far out. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust this now. All right, so we're going to start turning the new tie rod, and you can see it's starting to move now. If you look at the back's coming in, so we're almost at like 66 and a quarter on both ends at this point. There we go, look at that, we're right at 66 and a quarter on both the front and the back. Can you see the back? Yeah, there you go. All right, so that means that we're exactly even. Now what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to have a 16th to a 32nd of an inch difference with the toe in the front. So we're going to want to bring the toe in just a little tiny bit. All right, so we're going to try to bring this in. Sixteenth of an inch. There we go. That was a 32nd of an inch right there. I'm going to leave it right there. And looking at the back now, you'll see the back is at 66 and a quarter. And coming to the front, you can see it's in between the 16th and the quarter, so that's 1/32. So that's perfect for the alignment. All right, we got to get this stabilizer bracket off. Okay, everybody, so we had a problem. As you can see in the little clip, that last clip of the video, I was struggling a little bit to get the stabilizer bar support bracket off for the new tie rod. Matter of fact, it got so bad that it stripped out the Allen wrench portion, and we couldn't get the bracket off of it. This is what I'm talking about, is this piece right here. The original tie rod was a 1 3/8 inch. We had to go up to a 1 5/8 inch. Teraflex sends a new mounting bracket with the stabilizer, or with the tie rod, but you have to take it off, and the problem is you can't get it off. While I was at work, Margaret actually took it to 4-Wheel Parts. They tried to get it off, couldn't do it. They burned up 2 of them at the shop there. They tried heating it one time to get it off, blackened the whole thing, wouldn't come off, and they stripped theirs out just like we did. So we ended up taking we had a warranty on our old stabilizer bar. I forgot that we had it, and 4-Wheel Parts honored the warranty. Thank you for that, and just replaced it and gave us the right size that we needed for our new tie rod. So we're going to go ahead and put this on. It does mount a little different than the other one, but this should get us back on the road. Okay, so we've got to take the rod off that holds tracking bar on there, because it gets replaced with a different one on this application of this steering stabilizer. All right, there we go. Now we're ready to put the new steering stabilizer on there. Okay, so we're gonna put the new one on. I'm just gonna rest that the front of it there on the tie rod. All right, so I got it started. It's kind of hard to get a camera in here, but there we go. It's in now. All right, then put the nut on the back. This one's, like I said, this is a lot different because the previous one had a pin that went through there, and then your steering stabilizer slid onto the pin. This one, the pin's attached to the steering stabilizer. So it's quite a different application as far as installation goes. And then we got to tighten that down. All right, next we got to put our steering stabilizer centered on the rod. Make sure you put your steering wheel straight, which we already did. And just basically pull it over. And then you're going to measure and get the same amount of travel on both sides. So it's about 3 3/4, 3 1/2 there right now. About 5, so still got to go some more over. There we go, 4 1/8. And we got 4 1/8. So there we go. So we're even on that now. Okay, the next thing you got to be aware of before you mount this is your clearance between your steering or your track bar and your steering stabilizer. So if it's way over here and you turn, this could hit your track bar. So I'm going to put ours just about straight up. That way with full travel, it's not going to hit my track bar. All right, and then just put your bracket on there. Okay, and then of course torque to specification. This one said 15 foot-pounds, so that's what we're doing. There we go. Now underneath here, you're going to see a couple more nuts. What these do is you're going to want to tighten those up, and they have a tapered head on them. Those are going to go into your tie rod, and it will help with slipping on your tie rod. So you're going to want to end up torquing those as well. Okay, and then once you get everything torqued on your steering stabilizer, go back, check your clearance on between your drag link and your track bar as well, so that you don't have any rubbing that could occur. All right, everybody, so that was the whole process basically of putting a new tie rod on the front after we found that the issue was they couldn't adjust alignment with the other one because it was broken. So hope that helps. Hope you enjoy the video, and also be sure to hit that subscribe button and visit our website at mudbugadventures.com.